Am I the idiot for continuing to accept extra help from my ex and his family even though his fiancée doesn't like it? I have a 4-year-old daughter with my ex. I would say we have a pretty great co-parenting relationship and he and his family have helped me more than I would have expected them to. He's engaged now and his fiancée Laura isn't the biggest fan of mine. I know she's told him she doesn't like how much he helps me and she expects him to stop after they get married. I assume he refused because she decided to come speak to me. Woman to woman. The main things she wants me to stop are: 1. Stop accepting so much money from him even if he insists. 2. Move out from the apartment my daughter and I live in for free and find my own place. 3. Stop going on family vacations with him. 4. Stop having family dinners with him. 5. Stop attending events his family host. I told her no. She got upset and told me I should understand her perspective and why this wasn't fair to her. That I didn't need half of the things I accepted from him and I was just milking him like a cash cow because I had his daughter. She said that since they were a family now I should realize the dynamic between us has to change and no partner would be okay with how things are now. I told her no again and asked her to leave. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Unfortunately for Laura, his child and you come with him. I don't think you need to stop having a positive co-parenting relationship because she feels threatened. You'll always be in her life if she decides to go through with the marriage. I would actually have a talk with your ex and let him know what she said. There needs to be boundaries in place with her as she's overstepping and you should make it clear that she's starting things and you don't appreciate it. If she has a problem, she can speak to her fiancé. I feel like she has already addressed it with him and he's not changing how you guys function, so she thought she could come to you to get you to back off. I'm going to go against the grain here. You are the idiot. I think it's fully reasonable that she's uncomfortable with this. It sounds like he's completely supporting you financially, paying for all of your living expenses and then some. He should be paying child support, but you should otherwise support yourself as an adult. Family vacations and events are a little weird. You're acting like you're still a couple. Of course his fiancé is uncomfortable with that. Everyone's the idiot here. Laura should just move on. No woman should have to have the ex up in her face as much as her current fiancé and his family seems to think is appropriate. You're not at fault really, except that you don't seem to be willing to build much of an independent life. Am I the idiot for demanding my ex pay full child support? My, female 36, ex-husband, male 38, and I divorced 4 years ago. He now lives half an hour's drive away and only sees his kids, female 11 and 12, every other weekend. I'm a full-time parent and provider for our kids. A couple weeks back I got a letter requesting we reevaluate the amount of child support he has to pay. We usually do the reevaluation annually to make sure the payments are fair and applicable to mine and his current situations. So I wasn't too surprised to find out that he had requested the reevaluation again. However, I was very surprised to hear that according to the calculations, my ex is due to pay double the amount of child support he has paid earlier. I guess this makes sense, because he's got a significant pay raise, while my income has decreased a bit due to my recent career change. We also recently found out that our younger daughter has a chronic illness that requires regular checkups and physical therapy. I take care of these, and will sometimes have to miss work so that we can make all the appointments. This affects my income too. My ex is not too happy about the new estimate, and demands that I agree to a smaller monthly sum. I really don't see why I should, and here's why. He's the one that wanted the reevaluation in the first place. He does not contribute in any other way, doesn't participate in kids' school activities, hobbies, hasn't been to a single doctor's appointment, etc. Our kids deserve a comfortable standard of living, and he should also be responsible for providing it to them. Even though I know what me and the kids are entitled to, my ex still has me wondering, am I the idiot for demanding that he pay child support in full? Edit. Thank you for all the comments. I've read every one of them and I am feeling less like an idiot. Here's some more info on topics many have asked about. Him seeing the kids every other weekend is his choice. He could see the kids whenever he wanted to, and I've suggested sharing custody 50-50 with no child support. He does not want to. Why did I take a less paying job? My new job has better potential for increased income in the future, plus it allows me to take time off when necessary to make all the doctor's appointments. The financial setback is only temporary, and seen as we reassess these payments yearly, he won't be paying extra forever. Would I be okay if he took a less paying job and paid less child support? Yes. He has done this too. He took a less paying job with good career opportunities a few years back, and this was taken into consideration when reassessing child support. He ended up paying less at that time. I was fine with that. Not the idiot. He isn't even doing the bare minimum as a parent. He was the one who instigated this, he now has to live with it. You can bet your bottom dollar that he would have paid less if that was what the assessment suggested. I think putting your foot down and enforcing the new support order, and then countersuing for legal fees would be the final act of assertiveness to get him to stop requesting the reevaluation every year. Tell him, no, I'm not settling for less. It's for the kids. If you have an issue with the new order, petition the state for adjustment. If you come after me, you'll be paying for my legal fees because you have no case and this is just harassment. No amount of trying to play nice works with these types. You give an inch, and they see it as weakness and double down and go for more. Don't let him get to you or scare you, but don't fool yourself into thinking that settling for less will make the problem go away. It'll just make it worse. Not the idiot. These are his kids too. He is not offering to take off work so you can work and get paid, while he takes care of the kids. He is doing nothing to accommodate you. Take care of your kids and get your money. Do not discuss this with him again. Refuse to discuss finances other than we have a new court date, I'll see you on such and such, and do not have any other discussions other than that, except for the children. Am I the idiot for telling my ex she'll have to live without her closure? I'm going to cut to the chase. I, 36 male, got about a year or so left before making that final trip to the afterlife. I've made my peace with it and these last few years have been the best of my life. We've known for a while that I was living on borrowed time, so we vacationed a lot before COVID. Everyone knows I probably won't be here by next year. Well, as it turns out, my old ex decided to come back into my life. We were together since high school. Before I proposed, I found out she was cheating with one of her friends and broke up when we were 27. It was the darkest time of my life until I was pushed into going to therapy. 3 years later, I got back into dating and met my wife. Got married after 2 years and we have been together ever since. She's been the most incredible partner through all this, and I don't know how I would have made it without her. You can guess why my ex came back. She'd like us to meet so she could formally apologize to me and have one last conversation. I said no way. She is the last person I want to see right now, and she didn't take it well, I guess. Our families are somewhat close. Her parents had been my aunt's neighbors before either of us were even born, so they still saw each other after we split. My aunt heard from her folks that I'm refusing to see her and she's gotten my parents involved. Now they all hate her, except my aunt who always had a soft spot for her, but they do feel like maybe we should talk before I go. I don't know what exactly they think this will bring, aside from just dragging up painful memories. I don't want to bring up anything from the past and focus on making the most with my wife and family. They left it alone at first until my ex tried reach me again asking to please meet. My ex says she's heartbroken over my condition and just wants us to talk so we can have closure. But I explained to her I had mine years ago and am in a better place. And where I believe I was the idiot was telling her she's gonna have to live without hers. In getting a little more ridicule from my aunt and my dad. Mom's still a bit on my side about it. They do think what I said was very insensitive, and it's clearly painful for her knowing what she did to me and that I'll be gone soon. My wife is completely on my side here and actually gave my dad a piece of her mind. It was pretty hot to see. She rarely ever yells. For making things more complicated for me. They've left me alone, but it's still on my mind, and I don't know how exactly I was an idiot for saying that. I had said it as a statement, there's no reason for us to speak except it being for her benefit, and since I'd rather not, then she will in fact have to live without that closure. Not the idiot. It's been years, you've moved on and are happy. She's exploiting the situation and wants to apologize to play the bereaved ex role later on. She could have apologized and had closure years ago. The timing feels selfish and you are not obligated to indulge her. Not the idiot. I freaking hate this idea that we're supposed to let people who treated us like crap have their moment in the sun and earn their forgiveness of themselves at our emotional expense. It's selfish. It has nothing to do with making anything up to you and 100% about giving herself a moment to pat herself on the back about how she redeemed herself, and probably give herself a sad little story to tell people about how she was so gracious as to admit fault to her ex who passed, to be honest. You don't owe her a conversation. You don't owe her closure. You don't owe her a dang thing. She, on the other hand, owes you the basic amount of respect and consideration to accept what you want in this situation, and leave you the heck alone. She had 9 long years to come to grips with her actions and apologize. Especially those first 3 when you were struggling, it would have been helpful for her to reach out and say, "I'm so sorry OP, it was not you, I was just a piece of crap person." Now is completely self-serving, and to your point, you're in a different place. As to your specific "am I the idiot" question, you're not denying her closure, but stating she'll have to find that elsewhere just like you did. And you do not owe her any help on that journey. I am sorry for your situation and hope you get to enjoy every minute left with those who truly matter to you. Am I the idiot for not continuing to help my ex? I 26 male dated Kelly 35 female back in my freshman to junior year in college. After 2 years together she got pregnant and gave birth to Gabe, 4. Gabe looked nothing like me, he looked exactly like his mom though, minus the eyes. His are green and neither of us have green eyes nor do our parents or grandparents. Anyways, we broke up junior year due to her wanting to change locations and wanting to take Gabe with her while I was finishing my degree. I still saw Gabe, just less often, every 2 weeks or so. After college I tried to move closer to them, however the relationship became more strained as any time I wanted to see Gabe, there was an excuse: he's sick, he's got a doctor's appointment, my parents want him, etc. etc. Eventually things got better and I was able to see Gabe more consistently with the occasional string of excuses for a week. I met my current fiancée during this time and we had a child last year, Penelope. My fiancé encouraged me to get some sort of custody agreement so that I can see Gabe more consistently and so that he can know his sister. Part of the agreement was getting a DNA test. Don't want to go into detail, and it was revealed that Gabe is in fact not my child. I told my fiancé and she said that whatever choice I make she'll support me in. It truly hurt to know he wasn't mine and I couldn't get past the hurt, so I decided to cut things off as I could no longer see Gabe the same as I used to. I still feel and care for him, but I have a child that is mine. That is my top priority. I told Kelly that I wouldn't be seeing or taking Gabe anymore and that I'd provide financially as I previously have, for the next year, but in that time she needed to figure something out. I asked if I could say my goodbyes this coming week and she lost it on me. She called me an idiot for abandoning Gabe now that I have a real family and that he'll always wonder why I left him. She said a real man would do this for him. I told her that if he ever sought me out I'd tell him the truth. I've been wrestling with this for a few days and I'm wondering if I'm in the wrong. Some details I was asked to add. I was 22 when I started seeing Kelly. Gabe does have a relationship with his bio dad. Not the idiot. Incredibly generous to pay for someone else's child for a whole other year. She knew the entire time and was playing you. You have your own family to prioritize. Just better to cut ties with them now than in a year's time. Also, if you continue to pay after knowing the truth, she can sue for child support as you were supporting the child even after a negative paternity test. Probably best to consult a lawyer. Not the idiot. This is a 4-year-old boy that you helped out at a critical developmental stage. You also helped provide financial stability for him during this time. Since he is only 4, his memories of you in the future will be very hazy. But they will be good memories. You need not feel guilty for stopping support or be guilted by anyone to do so. The real idiot is Kelly, who, from what I gather, was much older than you and thus more capable of manipulating you. She was likely one of your first sexual partners and she took advantage of your feelings. The fact that she did not want you on the birth certificate or have any parental rights to Gabe while still demanding payment from you is despicable. The fact that she is denying her child regular contact with a positive male influence unless you pay her is despicable. Another poster has commented that you might be adjudicated the parent legally and forced to pay child support despite the fact you are not bio dad. This is inaccurate. While some non-bio dads are forced to pay child support, the facts here will not result in that outcome. You are under no obligation to continue giving her money. In fact, you should stop. Doing so may force Kelly to seek out Gabe's real biological father, who she has been denying any knowledge of a child to. That father will then have the opportunity to be an influence in Gabe's life. I am sorry that in the journey of your life you encountered someone who was so destructive. You are not the idiot. You are a good guy who unfortunately was exploited. Good luck. Gabe is not yours and she made all the excuses in the world to keep you from spending time with him, but happily accepted your money. It sounds a lot like she only wants your financial support. If she truly wanted you to continue to have Gabe in your life, she would allow you to do so without the financial ties. Not the idiot.